Hello Minecrafters, Takeanarrow here, and I'm back on the server again today. I've been working a little bit on the arena. I've set up a few things that I'm going to be using. So this here is the control panel, or a control panel. Basically, I'll just use it so that you can select different settings. So for this one, this is set up for how many lives you want to have. So we got 1, 3, 5, and infinite lives. And basically, when you press the button, it'll change what lamp will light up. So it'll actually change back here the redstone signal that'll be sent out. But I'll have to hook that up all later. But I've actually been messing around with it a little bit to try and see if I can get some kind of default reset, but I'll just quickly show you how this works. So basically press the button, turns that light on, turns this light off. This is an etho design. So you got a monostable reset. No, it's back here. So we can actually break that one. This is how it will actually work. And that should all work still. Yeah. So that's the control panel that I'll have, and the output is this block here. So if we put these, oh, we've only got, let's get a couple more of these. So the output is this block here. So as you can see, that light up there is off because it's an inverted signal. We hit this one, we'll change that to there. So I'll be using this for the live counter, the difficulty setting of the spider spawner, anywhere else I can think of using it that'll work in well. But I've been messing around a wee bit with the life counter, the actual mechanics of how it will work, and I've got it working pretty well. Like, well, it's working, most of it's working anyway. I've got to connect it all to the control panel, and then I've got to get it inside the wall there. I can make all this a lot more compact, and I might be able to change some of the stuff around as well. But basically what will happen is we've got 2 droppers here. It's got none in it at the moment, so that means that like, just if you pretend this is a wall here, that's a doorway. Maybe if we Alright, so that's a doorway that there is closed, so you can't get through it. If we throw something in here, so an ender pearl, it opens up and you can get through there. So basically all it is a comparator. It's checking that there's items in here, sends a signal to the gravel, which is then inverted and retracts the piston. And then what will happen is when you die, you'll respawn in a bed, which will be behind this wall here. You'll come through and you'll have to walk through the tripwire, which will send a pulse to this dropper, which will drop the item back into the bottom one. And now that block's now the piston's extended, which pushes that block in the way, and we can't get through. So next time we die, we'll respawn in here, and there's no path to get through. So how I did that was, I've got this what's this, pulse extender. Basically what it does is it sends so this will all be connected to the switchboard. This will all be connected to the switchboard, and then basically you just need to press the button, and it will send it will send a pulse to this block here. Yeah, it'll send a pulse to this block here, which will then send a pulse to this block here, and there'll be a slight delay on it. This one doesn't need to be delayed because there's no redstone there. So I'll send it'll send a pulse to this block here, which will then send it to the redstone wire, which will send it down there, and then it will switch off before this pulse hits that one because this is on a 3-tick delay. Then it will send another one, so pulse will get sent here, which will get pulled out here and here, and because there's a slight delay and when it hits this block here, this redstone wire would have turned off by time it's ready to turn on again, and that does it 5 times over for 5 lives. So that's 5 lives there, and I set it up the 3 lives. I set it up so that what will actually happen is it will also send a signal to this RS NOR latch, and that'll cause these pistons here to retract, and then this this here will be pulsed slightly later than that will be pulsed, and so by time the signal gets down here, these pistons would have retract and the signal will stop at 3. So if we have a quick look at that, so we got 11 in there, none in there. So if we hit 3, those pistons got retracted, the signal got sent through there, and if we check up here, now there's 3 up here. So I'll throw that back down here. And then for 5, those pistons there will be extended again. So they got extended, and you saw the repeaters lighten up. Now we got 5 in there. And put that back in there. And then all I did for 1 was I just bypassed all of this and just sent a signal, one pulse signal to the wire that goes straight to the droppers. So we can test this one out as well. So there we got 1 in there, and as you can see, this here is open. If we walk in here, and that'll close up. And all I did for 5, or unlimited, sorry, is I can remove that once I've got it connected up there. I just need a constant signal that goes over here, and all it does is sends a signal, bypasses all the droppers in that, and just sends a constant signal to the gravel, which has got the redstone torch on it, which will actually turn this off and keep it retracted regardless of how many times you run through the dropper, the tripwire. So as you can see, you got none in the dropper, and doesn't matter how many times, that won't close. Now at the moment, the only issue I have is if I was to go, actually I have to turn that one off. So that should have sent 3 in there, but then if you change your mind and you actually want to toggle it to 5 lives, now you've got 8. So the way I think I'm going to prevent that from happening is I'll send, so on this thing here, you've got this here, which regardless of which one you press, this redstone lights up. This is what's used to reset all of that, all the pistons through there. So what I can actually do is take a signal from here, or the monostable, and send it to another one of these, and send 5 pulses to the top one, and then I'll just have to put an even longer delay on this wiring that sends the 1, 3 and 5 pulses to the top one. And then that'll just make sure that if there's 5, which is the maximum it can have up here, it'll send 5 pulses to here. That'll make sure that they're in here before this gets any signal to it telling it to put 1, 3 or 5 in. So there should never be more than 5 in here, and every time you select a different one, it'll send like a reset. It'll send all the items in this one back into that one before these ones here are sent back up. So that's what I've got so far. I haven't done anything else on this thing here yet. I think I'm probably going to leave it this way, but I'll add pistons for all of them, and then I'll just power 4 for easy difficulty, and then all of them will retract for hard difficulty, and then obviously off they'll all be extended. So I'll need another one of them for that, and then I'll need to work out yeah, there's a mob zombie. So next thing I need to do is organise a holding area for all the zombies to sit in, and areas that players will actually start in when the game begins. Okay, and then I need to hide all this inside the walls. But I think what I'll do is I'll only have one of these, and it'll... Where is that guy? So I'll only have one of these guys. I'll only have one of these setups under the ground near the control panel, and then all I'll have to do is extend this redstone wiring here to all 4 areas. So that'll be 1, 3 and 5, and then this one here, which will be the permanently on one. So I think that this will be... Yeah, I have to look into it. There might be an easier way to do all this than what I've got. I mean, this is all a mess. This is just me trying to climb over the wiring that I had, and obviously this here doesn't need to be like that. This could definitely be a lot more compact as well. So yeah, I think I might mess around with this for a bit, and I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back, and that little bit actually turned into a couple of days, but I got quite a bit done, and we'll check it out. I've installed it down in the actual options room or control panel room, and this is just for the live so far. So we've got 1, 3, 5 and infinite, and this is all working at the moment. Obviously you can't press it too quickly after pressing another one. And I wonder how that messed it up there. But what I've actually done is I've connected this to the entrance that I've set up. Just one of them for the meantime. I will have a quick look. So over here I just set up a piston door that'll retract. The pistons will extend when the door wants to close, when the lives that you've selected, you've run out of lives. And basically I'm just, actually we need to take that out. That's probably messing things up. Yep, so, where should we start? So yeah, the arena will be back here. You'll have to run along here to get out, and you'll trip the tripwire, which will send a pulse to this dropper here, which will send another item back here, and when this dropper here is empty, this comparator will lose its signal, which will unpower this block, which will let this redstone torch relight, which will send a signal to this wiring, which goes all around and sends power to all the pistons, which will open them all up, will extend the pistons and close the door. So we can just do all this. So we've got two blocks in there at the moment. So if I do this, 1, 2. So there is a slight delay up the top. I'll probably try and get rid of that next, so that the door. I mean, no one will probably ever see that, because when you die, you'll be running jump through the wall, through this doorway, and then you're back into the action. So you'll probably never see this door closed. But I'd like to tidy that up anyway. And when I was trying to connect this setup here with that setup, I actually came into quite a lot of difficulties. Some of the stuff just wouldn't work properly, so I've had a lot of issues, but I've managed to get it all sorted out. It's a lot bigger than what I was hoping it was going to be, but I mean, we got plenty of room to work with. But that there, if I break through this, is the arena floor. So I might need to raise the arena up by 1, or might be able to just have it there anyway. Just have to remember when I'm building stuff that we've only got one block level to play with. So basically what happens is for 3 and 5, so this here's 3, this one here's 5, that sends signals along here. This one here will be 3, which sends a signal down here, sends it to a pulsar, just so that it only gets a pulse through. That was one of the issues I came across, because with the buttons, obviously they turn off and you lose your redstone power through here, but I had to change it so that I had to add this so that you only get a quick pulse through here, so it doesn't wreck it. So this one here is 5, it goes to the RO snore latch, which changes the state of these pistons here. It'll either extend or retract them depending on what one you do. And that'll just add an extra 2, or take away an extra 2 from the pulsar. So how many pulses you get, it gets sent to the dropper. So 3 is exactly the same, except it activates the other side of the RS snore latch, so it'll actually retract the pistons over there, and then both of these, that one goes under there, send a signal to the same redstone wire there, which sends it there to add pulses to the wire, the redstone wire. It'll go to the droppers. This one over here, so this will be 1 here. This bypasses all of all these extra pulses, goes straight to the redstone wiring, so it only needs to send 1 pulse. And I've had to add all of these because with all of these torches and repeaters, this has got quite a bit of a delay on it. The 3 and the 5, obviously 5 slightly longer than 3 because we've got another 2 here. Well, it's not longer, it just goes for an extra couple of pulses. And the reason I had to add all this in is because down here, because one of the issues I thought I was going to run into problems with is if someone selected 3 and then they selected 5, it'll actually send a total of 8 pulses up to the dropper. So I needed to add some sort of a reset. So down here, which has the reset for the toggle panel, this is the same reset which will reset the pistons up here and make it so that the lights will turn off when you've unselected one of them. So that sends a pulse through into this block, which adds 5 pulses to it, and then that sends a redstone signal, if we follow it, to the dropper at the top, so that's where the lives will be stored. It just basically it resets it to 0 before it gets the 3 or 5 or 1 pulses to add how many lives you want. So basically what happens is you'll choose how many lives you want, it'll send 5 pulses to this one here first, and that'll send all the items back into this one, and then it'll receive the 1, 3 or 5 pulses depending on how many lives you select, which will send the amount of items back up into there. And this was a pain to do, trying to navigate it all around each other without one bit of redstone lighting up another bit or sending power to it. And then the infinite lives, all I've done is this wiring here goes to a repeater which powers the redstone torch, which allows all of these to retract, and no matter how many items are in here it'll stay retracted. So that's what I've got here. Let's just test it out. So at the moment we got no items in the top. If we come back over here, right, and it was 5. It was set at 5, but obviously because I was testing it out before, I've reset it down to 0. So at the moment we've got 0. We'll try 1. Oh, there we go. See the delay on it's quite long. It took that long for it to for the doors to open up. And if we check in here, there should be one bit of cobblestone. And if we come here, we'll try the 3. So that'll reset it to 0. Then it will send 3 pulses to it, which will add it to 3. And we'll test this out by pressing 5 as well. So on the old setup, it actually would have had 8 or up to 8 in there, depending on how many items you had in the bottom one. So with the old setup, it could have been 8. With this one, it should be 5, even though we pressed the 3 and the 5. As well as having the 1 in there, which we had in there before. So we got 5 in there, that's correct. And the door's open. And then last but not least, we try the infinite lives. And that should have no items in the top, but the door should still be open. So the door's open, and there's no items in there. So no matter how many times you go through this, it'll stay open. So next plan is to set up all 4 of them, because at the moment I've only got that one there set up. I need to hide everything and make an arena room or a spawning room. I guess they'll be like changing rooms. And yeah, so I'll get rid of these here. So it'll be 2 block size, so you can't get in. I mean, you could ender pearl in there, but you shouldn't really be using ender pearls in here. Well, I mean, that's just cheating really, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. What else? I haven't done anything else on there yet. Yes, I think Amadasi's going to start working on this shortly. He's been doing a bit of work in creative mode with the world download that we've got. He sent me a few pictures. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I think he's just finishing up the villager village, and then I think he's going to start working on this. But it's a big big project. Oh, like I've got tons of stuff to do, so there's no rush for all these walls and that to be done. So, and then next I've got to sort out the spawner. I've decided that I'm going to cut back on how much I do initially. I want to get this thing playable, so I think I'll do the lives mechanics, the spawning thing here with the difficulty, and a counter for, and then just set up all this with the holding area, the timer to start the game off, and how many people are playing, so that that'll all be tied in with the countdown. So yeah, but I'll get more into that later. I think for now though, I'll get all these doors set up, clear all this crap out here that I've got set up, just so it looks a bit better again. Well, a bit clearer anyway. So yeah, I think that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and if you got any ideas as well, feel free to post them. I'll definitely check them out and see how they could improve the game. Thanks for watching.